Hello and welcome to the Fishing Guide Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Wiegmann. Of course, I'm really excited because Evan Barnes is on the show, and he's an Arkansas boy. I'm an Arkansas boy. Yeah. And so it's always exciting to have someone from your home state be on the show. And you're a tournament angler, and you do some other things.
Yeah.
So first start with where you started fishing. Like you started... And you're fishing around like Lake Darnell area, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's where I cut my teeth, so to speak. If you want to say that. I actually was very fortunate to get kind of paired up with one of the very best fishermen on that lake. You know, kind of an old school guy. His name was Jerry Watson. Anybody who knows Dardanelle fishing would know Jerry, right? Uh-huh. And when I was 14 years old, we started fishing, those Tuesday night tournaments and stuff together. And man, we started winning, and we would win a lot, honestly. And as a 14-year-old kid, when you start winning tournaments, it's like your head just starts to, just explode with confidence, and I thought I was going to be the best bass fisherman in the whole world, pretty early on, and definitely got humbled after that, I guess you could say, for sure. But I'm super thankful for that start, because that's what really got me going, and that success kind of fueled everything into the future for sure.
And then you went from the 14-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Did you fish high school fishing tournaments, or were those not around when you were? I don't want to age you,
right?
But
yeah. No, honestly, I'm pretty sure high school fishing started probably a couple of years after I graduated, and unfortunately, I didn't get to fish in high school,
right.
But I did get to fish in college. So I just kind of started the, there at Arkansas Tech, there in Russellville, as on the fishing team, and I didn't really know what that looked like, but I knew that they had a fishing team, and I knew I wanted to be involved in it,
right?
And I'll never forget really those first few tournaments, kind of awkward getting started, but I think I got second or third in our very first tournament there on I think it was on Little Lake Atkins there in Atkins, and so kind of started off there. And I had a very, very blessed college career. I guess you would say. I fished for Arkansas Tech for 5 years, and I got to I paired up with my team partner there for the most part was Dustin Huggins and Aaron Sarner along the way. But those guys, we meshed really well, had a really good team, and mine and Dustin's claim to fame is we won our first tournament ever together. We won a lot in between, and we won our very last one as well. So it was pretty cool kind of going out. He was a little ahead of me, but kind of a sending away party for him and for our team that we had. We won our last one as well, and so I'll say one more thing about the college fishing thing. One of our best claim to fame is they had this ACA School of the Year in college fishing, and we actually won the very first one. We were the number one team in the nation.
Seriously?
And so that was pretty cool.
Who did you have on your team? Give them a shout out.
Oh,
you can make
we had guys, Roy Roberts, Dustin Huggins, Aaron Sarna, Evan Smith, another Evan, guys, Cody Kelly at that point, and a lot of us, what's pretty cool, a lot of us either went on to fish either like semi-professionally or as a very successful co-angler too. So we had a really stacked team, and then we got to fish. We were actually the team that was fishing against guys like the Jordan Lee and the Dustin Connell and guys like that, Matt Lee, of course. And so to come out on top against that group, man, you got to know that we were pretty stacked. We had a good team for sure. So
now
awesome.
you've gone from there, went from the college, and now you've decided to take it to the next level.
Yeah, that was definitely a dream of mine. Like I said, from a young kid, once you start having a little bit of success, you want to do, be as good as you can, and I definitely did. I had that dream to be a professional fisherman, from young age. Didn't know what that was going to look like, of course, after college, because you had those shots, and there's the national championships and stuff, and we had several top tens. It got really close a couple of times to winning. Should have won a couple of them. That would have advanced that much quicker than what it actually ended up being. But anyways, long story short, I started fishing some BFLs and some TBF tournaments and had some really good runs in the TBF tournaments. Won several of those at a state level, and then jumped forward a little bit to kind of like the regional level and ended up finishing like third on Lake Truman and stuff like that. So just kind of gradually, getting your name out there and getting started. And then in 2016, I really started fishing semi-professionally, I guess you would say, as far as a level goes, in what was then the Costa Series, which is now the Toyota Series, right? And so I had a great year in 2016. Best year I ever had. Made the championship. Had a good championship. And, that kind of fast-tracked me and actually qualified me, as I think I finished maybe 7th in the points that year in that division, to fish what was then the FLW Tour.
Right.
So that was technically on a, you put the air quotes on there, a professional fisherman, at that point,
Right.
And then, I honestly, I went into that year, that first year as being a tour pro. It was a rude awakening, so to speak.
Yeah.
I went in with high hopes and thinking, man, I'm going to win Rookie of the Year and I'll do really well. And man, I pretty much fell on my face. It was really tough. Really, really tough for actually a few years, 3 years really in a row. I really, really struggled, and I'm just thankful for the last 2 years that's turned around big time for sure.
And so now you're fishing. Tell them what 2 levels.
Yeah, so I fish now the Tackle Warehouse Pro circuit. That's like I said, formerly what was the FLW Tour is now called the Tackle Warehouse Pro circuit.
Right.
So I get to fish against guys that I've looked up to my whole life.
Right.
And I'm looking across the water there, and there's a Mark Rose and sometimes Andy Morgan or a Michael Neal. Those type guys, and it's people that you've looked up to your entire life, and now you're fishing against them. And here I am 6 years into it now. There's not as much of that all factor, or that shell shock of, oh my gosh, I got to beat these guys. And with a little bit of momentum, I have been able to be pretty successful against them. So it's pretty cool to see your name a lot of times grouped with those guys. It's really cool actually. That's 100% right. Especially now the format's changed.